What are parking lot lighting requirements? Hello, this is Emily from Access Fixtures, and today we are going to look at parking lot lighting requirements. There are two basic categories of parking lot lighting requirements. The first parking lot lighting requirements are your objectives, what you want. The second set of parking lot lighting requirements is compliance with state, county, or local lighting ordinances. Most communities have ordinances that will influence the design and layout of your parking lot lighting. Until you know what you want and what your local communities requires, you can't design your parking lot lighting, so let's begin. What are your parking lot lighting requirements? These are the typical priorities. 1. The style of the light fixture. Style involves branding. Is there a style you want or branding aspect that you want conveyed? While a stadium or big box store might want 40-foot to 60-foot high mast parking lot lights, that height would not be appropriate for a fine dining restaurant or a country store. Post-top lights might be more appropriate for the restaurant. The country store might opt for something on a wood pole. Be sure to discuss style with a lighting specialist. 2. Mounting height. The mounting height of parking lot lights affects the area over which the light is distributed. Light distribution is directly correlated to the mounting height of the fixture. Light distribution increases with height. As the mounting height increases, the distance between the light poles and light fixtures increases, reducing pole and fixture count and thus cost. Consequently, to control cost, there is an inclination to have a mounting height of 20 feet or possibly more. This may conflict with your style preference, so obviously there are multiple considerations. 3. Average light. What is average light and what is enough light for a surface parking lot? One consideration is how bright the surrounding area is. A general rule is an average of 2-foot candles and a minimum of 1-foot candle, although in many instances the minimum foot candles is lower. Lower foot candles are acceptable if the lighting is even, which we will discuss next. 4. Even lighting. It is important that the light be even. Even light is measured using a max-min ratio, the foot candles in the brightest area of the parking lot divided by the foot candles in the least bright area of the parking lot. A study by the Lighting Research Center at RPI resulted in customers feeling safer and having better visibility, even with lower light levels if the lighting was even. 5. Parking lot lighting controls. Parking lot lighting controls range from the simple light switch to photocells, occupancy sensors, dolly, and wireless controls. The most simple and cost-effective option is a timer clock combined with a photocell or photocells. What are your community parking lot lighting requirements? These are some of the frequently regulated aspects of parking lot lighting. 1. Mounting height. Just about every community specifies the maximum mounting height of parking lot lights. The maximum mounting height typically ranges from 8 feet to 20 feet, with some exceptions for industrial facilities. Even the cement pole mount or pedestal for the light pole might have a regulated height, and naturally the height is measured off the surface of the parking lot, not the top of the pole mount. 2. Full cutoff light fixtures. Full cutoff requires that there is little to no uplight from the lights. The light fixture must be aimed down to keep the sky dark. LED parking lot lights have specialized optics, so the fixtures can still broadly distribute the light without causing the light to go up. 3. Dark sky compliant. Dark sky compliant builds on full cutoff. It means that the light fixture has to be full cutoff and needs to be 3000 Kelvin or below, and needs to be fixed or have a non-adjustable mounting arm. 4. Energy consumption. More and more common are ordinances that regulate energy use. The regulation may be as simple as meeting a federal guideline, or it may be as complex as to limit the wattage per square foot of the parking lot based on varying factors. An example of the latter is California Title 42. 5. Maximum light. Maximum light ordinances regulate the maximum light that can reach the surface of the parking lot. A typical maximum is 10-foot candles, but the maximum light could be set as low as 3-foot candles depending on the community. Compliance with a low maximum foot candle requirement requires more fixtures with lower wattage to minimize hot spots, areas of foot candles above the limit of foot candles on the surface of the parking lot. 6. Average light. Average light is the measure of light across the surface of a parking lot. Average light may be measured as the average of each square foot of the parking lot or the average of 5-foot or 10-foot square areas within the parking lot. 7. Minimum light. Minimum light regulations set the lowest level of foot candles permitted on the surface of the parking lot. The intent is to protect against areas of the parking lot being too dark. 8. Max-min ratio. Max-min ratio is the foot candles in the brightest area of the parking lot divided by the foot candles in the least bright area in the parking lot. A typical community-specified max-min ratio might be as high as 15:1. One community ordinance we recently had to meet for a client specified a maximum of 5 foot candles and a max-min ratio of 5:1, which is quite challenging. 9. Maximum foot candles at entrances and exits. This ordinance limits the foot candles on the surface of the parking lot where the parking lot meets sidewalks or streets. The objective may be to limit how bright the area is so as to not distract drivers, or to ensure the area is bright enough so a driver can see a pedestrian in the area of egress. 10. Light trespass. Light trespass is defined in 3 ways: the ability to see the light off in the distance, the ability to see the light source from a nearby property, and light emitted from one property onto a neighboring property. Lighting ordinances may deal with any number of the 3. The ability to see the light off in the distance refers to being able to see that an area some distance away is illuminated, such as a sports field, airport, or parking lot. This is less regulated than the other 2 forms of light trespass. Requiring the light source to be shielded is more common. The most common light trespass ordinances regulate the light emitted onto a neighboring property. Depending on the community, this could be anywhere from 1 foot candle on the surface at the property line to 0.05 foot candles at 3 feet above the surface of the ground by the property line. 11. Hours of lighting. Hours of lighting is the regulation of the hours that parking lot lights can be used. Examples of hours that lighting might be regulated include mandating that the lights be turned off or dimmed to a specified percentage of maximum light level within 15 minutes of the business closing, after 10 p.m., or after midnight and before 6 a.m. 12. Tile. Many communities now dictate the style of fixtures that may be used in the community or sometimes in a small area within the community. For example, a specific style may be required to maintain the character of an area, such as a historical district. An example from one community's ordinance states, must have antique globe/coach style light poles and fixtures as approved by the planning official. 13. Kelvin and nanometers. Many communities have parking lot lighting requirements that specify the Kelvin or nanometers. Reasons vary from aesthetic to environmental. Kelvin might be specified at 2,200 Kelvin to keep the feeling of a historic district that was previously illuminated by high-pressure sodium lights or gas lights. Kelvin may be limited to 4,000 Kelvin so the light emitted doesn't appear bluish. Examples of environmental reasons to mandate Kelvin or nanometers include 2,200 K to maintain or reclaim dark skies, to protect the migration patterns of birds or bugs, or 590 nanometer to protect wildlife or sea turtles. 14. Color rendering. Communities specify that parking lot lights have a color rendering above a certain CRI. Reasons for specifying CRI include mandating enhanced visibility and maintaining community aesthetics. 15. Photometric study and parking lot luminaire cut sheets. Virtually all lighting ordinances require a photometric study that results in a lighting plan, including point-by-point calculations showing compliance with the parking lot lighting ordinance. Along with the photometric study, the ordinances will require a cut sheet for each of the proposed light fixtures. Deciding your parking lot lighting preferences is fairly easy as compared with meeting state or local parking lot lighting ordinances. If you need to meet state or local ordinances, you will have to determine how to best do that, and almost always will need a photometric study. Speak with an access fixtures lighting specialist. An access fixtures lighting specialist will be able to answer all your questions and can help you order a photometric study so you can meet all of the required ordinances. To speak with an access fixtures lighting specialist, call 800-468-9925 and speak with an access fixtures lighting specialist to find your parking lot lighting solution.